What is up, guys? Today I am going to be showing you guys what BVR combat might look like in the near future, or at least like give you an idea of what to do in Fox 3 BVR combat at top tier. So we're taking out the Tomcat, which is the only aircraft in WarThunder currently that has Fox 3s. For now. And we are just going to fly that out. So we have a couple of ground rules. We're both taking the same loadout. It's 6 AIM 54s and 2 AIM 9Hs because we're using the A variant of the Tomcat. And there will be no multipathing allowed, at least for the first couple matches. And so basically what we're going to have to do is kinetically defend against these missiles. So got our radar set up here. Whoopsie, I messed it up immediately. Okay, we got our radar set up here, and he should be this way, so we're gonna turn. There he is. And so you want to give your missile as much of a speed and altitude advantage as you can. And you don't necessarily want to fire your missile immediately when you're in like theoretical range, because obviously they could turn or they'll try and defend. So you want to wait until you have a high probability of kill. So you want the missile to have energy left over to deal with a maneuvering bandit, because obviously a smart opponent is going to try and dodge your missile once you've fired it. So we got a Fox 3 off, and he is also climbing right now, and we're going to assume that he's a competent bandit and that he's already launched a Fox 3. We can see he has actually launched a Phoenix at us already. So we're going to break off and crank. And what we're doing with this, when we crank, is we're making it so that the missile has to lead us, and we're dragging the missile down into thicker air so that the missile will be struggling to deal with that. Now, a couple of turns here, and we should be able to go nose hot. But it is kind of a race to see who can get their missile off first, who can finish defending and get their missile off before you do. That missile's going the wrong way. Launch another one. It's a race to do that, because if you let the enemy get their missile off first every time, you're going to end up going defensive, and you might miss opportunities to shoot missiles. And if that happens, then you're kind of screwed, because they're just going to be able to push you until they're in range for a Fox 2, or for a missile to 100% hit you. Now, I'm not sure what's going on with RWR right now, because we should be... There he is. You can see him visually in the mountains. Oh, we hit him. He's down. Oh! And that's the thing with these missiles. Even if you've killed the enemy, there's no guarantee that they don't have a missile already coming to you, so you have to keep defending. Alright, so let's spawn again, and we'll do that again. So, the reason why you would want to climb to launch your missiles is twofold. So first of all, when you loft a missile, it is more deadly because the missile will be able to maneuver harder and it will be faster if it's going down, right? And so when you loft a missile, it'll follow an arc, and it'll end up coming down at the enemy, and you'll be at your missile will be at an advantage there, just from being so fast. And then the second reason is why you want to loft your missiles up is because that missile is going to accelerate much better in the thinner atmosphere. So the higher you go, the thinner the air is, the less air the rocket motor has to push out of its way in order to reach its target. So faster missiles, deadlier missiles, and it looks like he might have launched something at us already. So I'm going to go ahead and do the same. Oh, I'm not quite sure which one's him. There's two different kind of contacts here. It looks like he's launched 2 missiles. I think that's him right there on the left. So we're gonna keep flying, actually, and because we have plenty of missiles, I'm gonna try and get fast, like real fast. There he is. We're gonna try and get a lot of speed here, and now we're gonna start defending. Right after we launch another missile. And we're gonna crank, and we're gonna get the enemy aircraft as close to the gimbal limit of our radar as possible, and that just gives us the most deflection possible. And then we're gonna crank the other direction and continue. You have to continue guiding these missiles, by the way, guys. So that's why we're not just turning around and going cold. These missiles only continue to guide themselves if you're within a certain range. Oh, there he is. All right, that was an incredibly close launch, so I'm just going to go cold. Because, yep, there it is. We got him. And I don't think his missile will be able to chase me like this. Yeah. So when you launch really close like that, you can just turn and go cold. The Phoenix locks its target and starts tracking independently at 10 miles. I believe the AMRAAM is something like 15 or 20. So once your missile gets within that range of the enemy, or if you launch from that range to start, then you're good to just turn around because the missile sees them. All right, so I'm gonna GA out here, and we'll do that one more time. Yeah. All right, so guys, for this fight, we're going to allow multipathing to kind of be more realistic with how these Fox 3s are probably going to perform. So yes, in WarThunder, if you fly really low to the ground, like 90 meters off the ground, the missile will lock onto the reflection of your aircraft off the ground instead of your aircraft, and that's called multipathing. And it's what makes your missiles hit the ground when an enemy's flying low instead of hitting them. And it's an extremely reliable way in WarThunder to stop an enemy from killing you with a radar missile. All right? It's basically automatically defeats all radar missiles in the game. Now, in real life, that's not quite how things work. Some aircraft radars and some missiles have the multipathing effect, and they can't really filter it out. But modern missiles can. I believe even the Phoenix can, because it was designed to shoot at low-flying, sea-skimming cruise missiles, because it was generally just a fleet defense missile. So, and of course then the AMRAAM and things like the Mika and the AAM-4 and the R-77, they all have those too. So they don't have to worry about multipathing in real life, but in WarThunder they do. So we will see if Gaijin changes that. I just wanted to show you guys a couple of matches without it, So we were just not flying low to the ground there. Just to see, you know, what things could be like with Fox 3s. Alright. It looks like we both launched. And with this, right now, with the way that Phoenixes are, I don't even necessarily want to start multipathing right now. I can start kinetically defending, and I know I'm going to defeat these missiles. But when the Fox 3s, when the modern Fox 3s come into the game, it's going to be an entirely different story. And this time we're going to probably be moving to the deck soon. So without multipathing, here I would be at a disadvantage because he has mountains which he can use to terrain mask and put a mountain in between me and a missile. And I'm over flat ground. But with multipathing, the flat ground actually has me at an advantage because if I fly low the entire time, I can shoot missiles at him and defeat his at the same time. Okay, and then immediately we're just gonna go straight down. Had a little bit of an engine issue there. And what this is going to do is completely trash his missile, and there's not really anything he can do about it. So we're going to fly really low now that his missiles are kind of getting into that range where they're pretty dangerous. Alright, and this is... You got to be quite low for this, guys. Now the only thing is, I don't know how many of his missiles he launched, so if we do get into a dogfight, I've still got a lot of weight on me, and it I might be at a disadvantage. So, and we're only taking Phoenixes, so a cheeky shot isn't possible when we're about to merge, but it 100% will be with the AMRAAMs. See, now we're back to who sees who first. And I'm not even worried about turning off my radar so that he can't see me, because he can't detect my radar. But yeah, multipathing just allows you to completely negate all radar missiles and basically close with the enemy and get to a merge when you really shouldn't be able to. And I think that would be him right there. Kind of past each other there. I think that's a bot. Nope. Yeah, that's him. And he knows I'm here, because he can hear me. So we're going to go into ACM mode, and see what we can do here. Oh my god. All right, we've merged. Let's get these flaps out. Alright, and we've just shed a lot of our weight. But I don't have wing speed control right now. I should have clarified whether we were doing head-ons or not, but I was waiting to see what he wanted to do. But yeah, the main point is with the BVR stuff. No, that's okay. That's okay. That was totally fair. I was shooting missiles at you. The main thing is with the BVR stuff. Gaijin, this is all on Gaijin. Whether or not multipathing is as big of an issue with the modern Fox 3s as it is with the Fox 1s. All right? So they could just decide, okay, you know what? For the Fox 3s, we're getting rid of multipathing. That's not a thing anymore. Or they could say, no, we're going to keep it for balance reasons. Either way, whatever they decide to do, there's a couple of things that you can do to get more quote-unquote realistic BVR. The first is to play on maps like Afghanistan, maybe less so Afghanistan because of this huge valley, but Afghanistan, Spain, Vietnam, those sorts of maps with a lot of mountains everywhere, because it makes it a lot harder to multipath. A lot of players aren't good enough at flying their planes, to be frank, to multipath on these maps, and sometimes it's just downright impossible because you have a mountain with a base height of like 10,000 feet and a peak height of 15,000 feet. They're not multipathing to that. And if they are, they certainly aren't firing missiles at you, and they're really slow. So, those are some things that you can do to kind of mitigate that. That being said, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So be sure to like, subscribe for more, and I will see you guys in the next one.